Hello everybody, this is Robbie, and it's time to play the first mod of the Perfect World Anthology. Yeah, I know. Again, but like, why did I say it like that? Anyway, this is a remastered and redone version of that mod. Because, the original mod's 3 years old, so a lot can be improved in that time. It literally is the first. Yep, it is. Hey, new logo. That's cool. Shattered Time Rewind. Aptly titled as we're rewinding back to the very beginning. That's because people complain the MC in the oldest he was annoying for no reason. Wasn't really annoyed by him. Anyways. Oh, why hello there, players! When the moon rises in the sky, a night full of drama, passion, and the bizarre often waits for you. Since his parents' divorce wasn't a good enough reason, I gave him a better reason. A reason that I'll probably find out as I play this mod. Find all the endings, which aren't things. In like a playthrough format this time. Oh. Yeah, that's the neat part. Good evening and welcome to the show. Wait, what? There are no multiple endings. Oh, so this is a linear mod. It's a straight shot to the end. Alrighty then. Well then. Guess I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show then. I'm your ardent vixen of lava, Kane Kotobuki. You may also know me as the Black Rose. I'm here on behalf of the gentlemen of Team Trader since they aren't able to greet you themselves. I'll be your guide for the night ahead of us of twists, turns, and love. So tell me, players, how far are you willing to go to save someone you love? Don't really know if it hasn't happened yet. Would you jump in front of a train for them? I mean, that'd probably be like a split-second decision you make in the moment, so I can't really say for sure right now. Would you tear down the sky for them? I guess metaphorically speaking. Would you perhaps risk breaking all the rules of time and space? Have I got a story for you, then? Also, thanks for the just to me and Kane. I just don't get on Twitch all that much these days. Yeah, that's understandable. I'll probably just speaking of, just Twitch whispers send actual notifications to your computer and phone and the notifications bar saying you received this. That's not for me anyway. Okay. A cycle full of love and loss between two star-crossed lovers across time. Almost like a modern Romeo and Juliet, but with a bit of magic involved. Yeah, the beginnings of an overarching story. And minus Leonardo DiCaprio, of course. Anyway, let me just ask you one last question before we get started. Have you ever heard of the tragedy of Tarankos the Tyrant? Oh, Tarankos lore! A young man struggling with his feelings and depression gets to hear it for himself. When he's sent back in time to save a girl he keeps telling himself doesn't mean anything to him. Wait, I think this will be updated lore. If that's the case, love, then why are you willing to mess with the flow of time itself just to save her life? Mixed signals much? Love sure can be amusing, can it? As well as a wide variety of other emotions. There's no telling what a person is willing to do in the name of love. They might do something so outrageous all logic and reason go out the window. Or they might even find the inner strength in themselves they never knew they had. Anyway, why don't we get on with the show? I bet you're all just dying to see what's in store for you all. I'll catch you later, my forlorn hearts. Alright, let's rewind back to where it all began. 2019. Okay. think I'd be better off dead? That question, just what was that question? As I take my usual route to school, I went through the events in my head. I went the events through my head again. I was just sitting in my homeroom when that bombshell was dropped on me. It came out of nowhere and directed at me of all people. Natsuki, a girl who sat behind me in class, just asked me that without any warning. We weren't really that well acquainted despite sitting close to each other in the same class. It's for that reason that I was left stupefied when she asked. I prefer not to get myself involved with anyone, especially after... Oh, who was that? No. I told myself I wouldn't think about her again. I guess we're gonna find that out soon. Quit living in the past already. I have to keep moving forward and not dwell on pointless things. It makes me weak. At least that's what my father used to tell me. Oh boy. Not that what he says really matters anymore ever since my parents' divorce and all. Yeah. Yeah, just... Yeah, I love that 60s, 70s mindset. Or something, I don't know. Just pointless, unhealthy. Don't know what I was going for. It's unhealthy. That's the point I was trying to make. Honestly, he wasn't much of a father to me to begin with. That's why I just call him Old Man instead. He doesn't deserve to be called my father. I wish I could forget about him. I wish I could forget about this town while I'm at it. As I make my way through the door, I find myself shoved to the side, but I know this too, and neither does my dad. Whew. I'd like to see who it was. Oh, come on. A fucking course, it's Whoa, new character. Joichiro. Joichiro? Who the hell is this? This is like a new character. With a new sprite and everything that looks pretty good. Oh. Whip's too slow. Aw, look at little Edgelord Jr. You gonna cry? I just ignore the gorilla in front of me and walk right on by. Hey, quit ignoring me! Sorry, I don't speak monkey. I walk away before he can respond. Whatever, not interested in anything he says. I'm sure he'll try to hunt me down to beat me up later. I can't stand that guy. Joichiro is such a conceited jerk and an infamous womanizer to boot. Frankly, I think he's such a waste of oxygen. In cases like this, it's best to ignore him and his stupidity. Maybe I'll live longer if I do that. Last class for the day. It's a free period. School was relatively boring today, save for one thing. At the beginning of our first class, the teacher stood in front of everyone and spoke in a somber tone. He had an announcement to make. Sometime between last night and this morning, Natsuki was found dead in her home. The teacher couldn't say what was the cause of her death, even knowing how the authorities were still determining what happened. Knowing how they work, it's hopeless. The probable cause of her death might as well be lost to the darkness. There was only one thing that was clear. Natsuki Sairenji has passed away. I asked out of curiosity in the hopes of getting a straight answer, but that was all the teachers would say. I didn't want to ask any further questions to avoid looking suspicious and to respect her privacy. The day continued on as it normally did, albeit without Natsuki sitting behind me. To be honest, I don't care all that much. And neither did Natsuki if some part... I don't know, then again, I guess I'll find out what parts, like, stayed from the original and what went away in terms of, like, the different... In terms of, like, transitioning from the original to the new version, what stayed and what went. I don't care that a classmate I hardly ever spoke to is gone. I don't care that she won't ever be sitting behind me ever again. I don't care that I'll never see her again. Do I? I have no strong feelings one way or the other about this whole thing. Right? No. Her death won't affect me at all. I mean, it kind of already is if you're thinking extensively about it like this. I could say this mod pays tribute to not just the original, but a lot of the mods that came before it. Ah, okay then. I mean, I think the latter is probably because it sets up a lot of the story arcs and stuff, but again, that's something I'll find out throughout. The school day continued without her. The world will continue without her. Just like old man used to tell me. Get Why did she confide in me with that loaded question? We didn't have any sense of closeness, yet she asked me that loaded question anyway. Like a shot in the dark. So my dad told me when my mom died. Oh. Like, what's interesting is that those are, like, technically true. But it's like in the grand scheme of things, one person's death doesn't mean all that much. But it's like, this advice comes, like, just thinking of the grand scheme and that's it. Like you're just thinking, oh, in the grand scheme of things, this person's death doesn't mean that much. But in terms of, like, focusing on the smaller picture, their family will be torn up, their friends will never see them again, and everybody who had a close attachment to that person will have to live the rest of their lives without them. That's what matters here. So I just went on, like, a little tangent to end about that. Just, I don't know, I guess that's my take on it. I don't know if it's a bad take or not. A soft laugh pulls me from my thoughts and back to reality. Why, hello there, Robbie. You're looking rather down in the dumps today. Penny for your thoughts? I'm fine, thanks. Amy Shido. Just another girl in my class, and yet something about her rubs me the wrong way. No, I agree with you. My dad was the one who just didn't see it that way. Yeah. Guess that's what being closed-minded gets you, in terms of your dad. I've never spoken to her, nor has she ever spoken to me. This might be the first time she's approached me like this. From what I understand, she and Natsuki spoke to each other a lot. I'm not sure if they were friends, rivals, or something else entirely. Considering how the relationship didn't affect me, I never questioned anything. Not my business, so not my place to poke around. Oh, I don't know. That doesn't sound like someone who's feeling fine. If something's bothering you, then just tell me already. This is the first time you've ever spoken to me, Amy. What does it matter to you how I'm feeling? Oh, I think I understand now. So then you're super annoyed at me because I never talked to you, right? Yet here I am, shooting the breeze with you out of the blue like everything is sugar-coated rainbows. Something like that, but you didn't answer my question. What does it matter to you how I'm feeling? I don't know, it's just that the whole situation kind of reminds me of something. I raise an eyebrow at her. What's she getting at? Something you're awfully familiar with, if I'm not mistaken. Listen here, you little... Oh, this tiger has fangs. I like it. Yeah, cut him off before he could say a swear word with those fangs. You have some nerve even hinting at her to me like it's no big deal. You're right, how insensitive of me. Barely a year has gone by since then, hasn't it? I remain silent. If she's trying to piss me off, you could bet it's working. Anyway, I came over here because I wanted to ask you for a favor. A favor? Me? Get someone else to do it. I don't owe you a damn thing. I hardly know anything about you outside of your spider fetish. Really? There's no need for judgment, Robbie. Everyone's free to like whatever they want, so long as there's no harm on anyone. I mean, there is a merit to liking spiders. I like the spider webs they produce. Like, if they're, like, fully formed, they look like works of art, almost. I mean, not works of art, they just look really interesting and unique. And interesting to look at. That's what Natsuki would say, anyway. And right on my birthday as well. Her voice lowers when she mentions Natsuki's name. I never stopped to think how this might be affecting her. If you're here to ask for some advice for coping with loss, then find someone else. I'm no good at that kind of thing. No, that's not it. Then, is there a point to your little lecture? You're not a teacher last time I checked. Useless trivia. June 4th is Amy's birthday. Oh, middle of the year. That's cool. So in like normal school years, her birthday comes like really close to the last day of school. I guess if we're looking for more useless trivia. It was also an inside joke between me and high school friends. Oh, really? Interesting. I wonder how the joke went. Or like, I guess if the birthday is the inside joke. Or maybe it's expected. Looks like someone got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Or is this what you're always like? I don't know. I never really stopped to think about it. Getting back to the point here, I wanted to ask you to do a favor for me. Can you guess what it is? Don't know, don't care, but I bet you're gonna tell me anyway. Cut to the chase already, you buzz off, you spider-obsessed freak. You're such a jerk. And the inside joke is how the weird narrator guy in COD 3 says June 4th, 1940. I guess he says it like June 4th, 1940. I don't know, I've never really played Call of Duty, or even specifically Call of Duty 3, so I wouldn't know for certain. But you know what? Oh, wow, tell me something I don't know. You're such a difficult man. Seriously, worst birthday ever. Neither have I, but I saw a video review of it. And the way he says it is just so dramatic. Oh. So I guess I kind of got it close with my, impression a little. Unless it was, dramatic in a different way, like they're going over the top, like, June 4th, 1940, or something, I don't know. Anyway, your rudeness aside, I wanted to see if you could help out not. You're the only one who can do that. How the hell do you figure that? Stop acting like we're casual friends here. She went over and talked to you yesterday, remember? I know this because I was watching you both. Do you stalk people in your free time? Just what kind of sick pervert are you? Did you also take pictures of us for those long, lonely nights? For the love of... Would you just cut it out already? Seriously, what is it with you today? Are you having a bad day, or are you just naturally an insufferable jerk? Who knows? Maybe I'm born with it. You're an idiot. You're a pervert. Anyway, back on topic. Natsuki chose to ask you for help instead of me that day. Maybe it's Maybelline. Wait, who's Maybelline? I don't know if you've mentioned her before. Or unless she's like a character within Call of Duty. I don't know, I don't know, again, not really well versed in the lore. Thanks for making me feel old. I guess Maybelline's like an older Call of Duty character then? Although then again, it's a makeup thing. Ah, okay. I'm her good friend, so you'd think I'd be a natural choice for her, but no? The commercials, anyone? Oh, I guess those are like makeup commercials. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. It's actually kind of clever. I mean, in like a commercially type of way. I'm old. I mean, you know, there's some like... I mean, being old means you've explored more of the world and like time, so you could tell more like stories to people about your time or something. What are you talking about? She didn't ask me for any help. She just asked me some random question like it was no big deal. A cryptic as hell kind of question. Is that what happened? I figured as much. You see, Na was the kind of girl who wouldn't ask for help directly, even if she wanted it. She often figured it would only bother people if she went to them about her problems. I remember that commercial being played on TV. At least someone remembers. There we go! I'm starting to feel like all the haters. I'm like, whoa! What the fuck? Whoa! Dirty old man. Jeez. Wait, how old? No. Frick, is like asking how old someone is just an offensive question like towards women or an offensive question in general? It's like it turns... Age, I am eternal. In turn, she was afraid to say anything at the risk of bothering or defending someone. Poor Nat, she was such a sweet, considerate girl. Maybe a bit too considerate, though, if you ask me. That just might have been her undoing. Okay, so let's say you have a plan to help her. How are you gonna do this? Last time I checked, the dead can't just return to life like nothing. It's not like there's some red star out in the sky that can zap their deceased back to life. Joking aside, I'm in my early 20s. How much? That's not old at all. Like 25 is just a quarter of the way to 100. It's not even like the halfway point in life. Bionicle reference. I guess the my age I'm eternal thing was a Bionicle reference. Also, it's like... Oh. Oh, well. Oh, the red star. Oh! Oh, that was like the mod. I thought it was like something you said. I... Sorry for the confusion. Funny. It's really funny you should say that because I have something to tell you. Okay, now what? That's what the red star does. Yeah, I'm not well versed in Bionicle lore either. As long as you die in the... But at least I'm learning a bit of it. It's cool. Yeah. There's a body left. I mean, lore would count as a fun fact. If that's what you're worried about, then allow me to explain some things to you. Tell me, have you ever heard the tragedy of Tyrankos the Tyrant? No? Should I? I didn't think so. It's not a story most people would go around telling. A long time ago, in a distant realm, there were two brothers. The eldest brother was named Articus, and he was revered by all. The younger brother was Tyrankos, who was often feared and even despised by most people. They actually had a younger sister, but we don't talk about her. Yeah, the name, the Z. I remember it begins with Z. I just played this weeks ago. Z. God, memory, come on. Ziritha, there we go. I'm gonna write that down. Don't worry too much, okay? Just gonna write that down because, like, yeah, she's an important character here. That no good floozy. What? What? Never mind. Just whatever. Keep going. I mean, you're gonna hear her name a bit in this mod too. Yeah, probably. They were born from a magically powerful family, and as such were gifted with unimaginable power. Articus had the power of creation and could create almost anything with his knowledge and skills. That is except for living things, of course. We don't talk about that either. I mean, I guess there was an attempt gone wrong? I don't know. So long as it existed, he could create it, and if it didn't, he'd toil away in his workshop to make it a reality. Tyrankos had power over time and could even rewrite history, but only once for anyone who dared ask him to. His ability to manipulate time was sometimes seen as frightening by his peers. Even so, he did his best to try helping those around him. Although no matter what he did, his accomplishments were always eclipsed by those of his brother. This whole thing sounds like a load of crap, and yet I can't bring myself to stop her from spinning this kind of nonsense. He tried, he failed, he regretted everything. Wonder if we'll hear more about that attempt in either this mod or other future mods. One day, after a push from his floozy sister and after experiencing a terrible accident, Tyrankos descended into madness. In that moment, he had a sudden epiphany. He saw how revered his brother was, and how, despite his best efforts, he was seen as an outcast, a potential threat even. In a fit of jealousy and anger, he planned to kill his brother out of revenge and spite upon making this realization. His efforts were thwarted by Articus, who created a prison for him and cast him into a realm beyond human comprehension. A sort of pocket dimension, if you will. That wasn't the last of him, however, as he refused to be silenced. So, what happened to him? Thanks to Articus, he was trapped in that pocket dimension with no way of escape. He's still trapped there to this day. Eventually, however, a cult known as the Dark Interlopers made contact with him. After making a deal, he shared his wisdom of magic and the dark arts with them. This shared knowledge of dark magic is how anyone can make a wish to him. One can simply make a wish to Tyrankos so long as the proper ritual is performed. Upon doing so, he will rewrite the past for you once. Should you get greedy with him, then your request is outright denied, in the best case scenario. Depending on how he feels that day, he could do much worse. Believe me when I say I've heard stories of what he can do. It's not pretty. Assuming this isn't just some fairy tale, you're saying this Tarankos could actually rewrite time? Yes, but as I said, only at one given point in time per wish. Anything more and you'll be lucky if Tarankos leaves you with all of your limbs. There's no way this is real. Oh no, Robbie, Tarankos exists, as other universal variants of you would later go on to discover. So does Articus and that floozy younger sister of theirs. I know this for a fact as I've met Tarankos myself. Oh yeah, you kind of work for him. Right. Okay, you're one serious freak chick and you need a lot of therapy. Better yet, maybe they should send you to the funny farm. Or maybe put you in a box floating down the river. I don't want to hear anything else you have to say to me. Not interested. You've met him too, Robbie. As I'm walking away from her, I stop in my tracks to look back at Amy. She smiles devilishly at me. Her eyes are almost beckoning me. What could she mean with that? Before I can ask her, the bell rings, signaling the end of classes for the day. I take a quick glance at the clock, look back over to her, and she signals me to follow her. I don't want to follow her, but then she starts harmonizing her voice. And some morning I left for downtown Bourne, down by the merchant's alley where I met a soul forlorn, conversing with a young lass who seemed to be in pain, saying, Robbie, when you go, I fear you shan't return again. I guess for that verse of the song you could just replace that with the name of anybody. All of a sudden my body relaxes and she makes her way over to me, a devious smile on her face. My heart is pierced by Cupid, I yearn to hold you dear. There are none who can console me but my magic cavalier. What is she doing? I mean, singing a song, unless it's like a ritual. She runs her fingers up my arm and then starts to fumble with a strand of my hair. His eyes that shone like emeralds, his hair as black as coal. My happiness attend him wherever he may go. From here to all high heaven, I'll wander, weep and moan for my noble champion until he returns to me back home. My heart is pierced by Cupid, I yearn to hold you dear. There are none who can console me but my magic cavalier. With an almost seductive smile on her face, Amy begins to walk away, returning to the open door. My body begins to move on its own. Against my better judgment, I comply with her. For some reason, I feel as though I can't refuse her. I guess that was a ritualistic song? I don't know. The song definitely did something. It's as though I'm under the control of a siren song. Ah, that also works. Huh. Amy takes me to the courtyard right in front of the fountain. My body keeps resisting me. I almost feel like some stupid puppet on strings. I continue to mindlessly follow her as if under a trance. I'm snapped out of it when she briefly clears her throat. What the? You no good little... You know what? Whatever. Okay, Amy, enough of this fortune cookie nonsense. What do you want from me? Amy rummages around in her backpack, mumbling to herself. After a few moments, she produces 2 linked bracelets, one gold and one silver. Here we go! These bracelets are known as the Chains of Tarankos and represent the link between the 2 brothers. More specifically, the bonds placed on him by Articus when he performed the ritual that imprisoned him. Okay, that's nice and all, but how the hell do you have them then? Oh, it's easy to make these. All you need are 2 bracelets you're willing to sacrifice and the right ingredients to soak them in. I take it no one is gonna miss those, then? Oh, my Robbie, are you concerned about me? No, I could care less what happens to you. Wow, Robbie, tell me how you really feel. I just want to know what you're getting me into so I don't end up some accomplice to whatever crime you're cooking up. Even if it's not something illegal, I don't want to know what kind of stuff she's out here reading in her free time. And what goes on in that twisted mind of hers, for that matter. I can assure you that what we're doing is not illegal. At least I don't think it is. That's always a good sign. I'm out of here. Don't you want to help not? Why are you so obsessed with her? Ignoring that. Anyway, just put your left arm in the silver bracelet and your right arm in the golden one as I dodge the question. Which will probably be answered at some point in the mod. Then all you have to do is say the magic words and everything will make sense. And those magic words would be, you're gonna simply say, Tarankos, I've come to bargain 8 times as you hold out your arms with the bracelets. Wait, wrong counter. There we go. Oh, you're not gonna leave me alone unless I do this, right? Good grief. Fine, I'll play along and prove to you that this is utter nonsense. On the off chance that I die, though, stay away from my funeral. You're not really gonna be alive to stop her. Understood. Now let's get to it. Time's a-wasting. It's not cute when you say that, if that's what you're thinking. Amy holds out the bracelets one more time, looking at me expectantly. It's kind of a dark... Oh, oops. I groan as I slide my arms into the respective bracelets. She takes a few steps back as I hold both of my arms out straight. I can't believe I'm gonna do this. Why am I? Maybe it's because I feel bad for her, seeing as she's lost a friend who she is oddly obsessed with. Apparently June 4th is her birthday as well. That must feel like a serious kick in the teeth. I guess I pity her in a way. Probably best that I don't think about it. Tarancos have come to bargain. Nothing happened. 8 times, right? Tarancos have come to bargain. Tarancos have come to bargain. Tarancos have come to bargain. I'm halfway there. Yeah, actually, yeah. Tarancos have come to bargain. Tarancos have come to bargain. Tarancos have come to bargain. Last one. Tarancos have come to bargain. No extra credit this time for saying it 9 times, like in the original mod. Yep, that's all 8 times. Just as I'm about to call out Amy for being too obsessed with creepy occult stuff, I feel the bracelets constrict and bind my arms together. What? Oh, this is a distorted version of the theme. I like this. Or different music entirely. I don't know, it sounds familiar. I thought about making a joke about that. Ah! I look over at Amy, who giggles devilishly to herself. And tally-ho, and away you go! Why, you little! I feel as though my arms and legs are being grabbed and stretched out over a long distance. The sensation is overwhelming. As my consciousness begins to fade, I take a look back at Amy, who has a sinister smile on her face. That demented little bitch. As I fade away, my mind suddenly drifts to Natsuki. Why am I thinking about her right now? I mean, she's the person who you're supposed to go and see because of this. I mean, that's what this ritual is for. I mean, it all sounds so damn crazy, but can she be saved? By me, of all people? But out of everyone in the world, why me, though? How many times has it been now? Tell me, young one, do you know what it is you desire the most? Do you still not understand? Have your failures taught you nothing? Pitiful, insane, pathetic. Fate is called as such as it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted. Can you truly defy fate and deny it, though? No matter how many times you try to turn the hands of fate, you will always arrive at the same result. You couldn't live with your own failure. Now look at where it's brought you. Right back to me. Who is this? Someone making an Avengers reference, that's for sure. Also, yep, Tarancos! What is he saying? Whoever this is, I've never met him before. What's he talking about? Curious. We have met so many times, and yet you do not remember me. I'm wounded. Then again, I suppose it is only natural. Clearly you have not learned anything across each attempt you've made. If you fail to understand this process after having gone through it so many times, then feel free to continue with your fruitless struggle. You have learned nothing, and as such you are doomed to fall into darkness as you repeat this time period. When you awake, you will be at your destination. May you make the correct choice this time. Alright, June the 3rd, the day before. Let's see what happens. What just happened? I wake up to find myself laying on the ground. I sit up just to see that I'm right outside of a house I've never seen before. Where the hell am I? Did that crazy ritual actually work? Who lives here? As I get to my feet, a calming night breeze wraps itself around me. A gently shining moon greets me as I look up into the sky. This is a rather calming summer night. The house stands before me, exuding an unsettling aura contradicting the serene feeling of the night. Its large shape stands proud and imposing before me as I approach the gate. My knees grow weak as I get closer. I take a look at the name engraved above the mailbox. Syrengi. That's Natsuki's family name, alright. This has to be the right place. I place my hand against the gate, causing it to creak open with just my touch. I pull my hand back. What? What am I doing right now? I take a few steps back before turning around and trying to figure out what neighborhood I'm in. This isn't right. I have to get out of here. I don't know what the hell is happening, but I can't stay here. As I'm running down the street, I try to see if anything around me looks familiar. No dice. I screech to a halt when I hear a familiar voice. A very idiotic familiar voice. Great. Thinking quickly, I hide behind a wall before anyone spots me. I don't think he saw me. I peek my head just a little bit. Yeah, sure enough, it's him. So how about you and I get together this weekend and... Joichiro! Oh, Sarah... Huh. Interesting. Sarah Sprite with different colored eyes, different colored hair, and little edits to it. Interesting. Probably the first time in a long while I've seen the Sarah Sprite edited, like, differently. For the record, we don't meet the Sarah of this universe. Ah, so this is the closest we're gonna get. Just from the design standpoint alone. Joichiro, get away from me or else I'm seriously gonna call the police on you. No means no, alright? Oh, great, he's one of those guys. I gotta get home now. Please stop bothering me. Joichiro usually stays a bit after school for sports practice. I've only seen her around school a little, but I think this girl stays for band practice. It's no surprise getting to see Joichiro get shot down for being a total creep. So I chose a random girl sprite to act as a random student. Okay. But I didn't think I'd see this when he's away from the school. As the girl walks off in the opposite direction, Joichiro starts sulking and goes his own way. Her name is Claire in a very early OC. I mean, I can tell from the... Oh, but she's like an early OC from the fact that it's like redesigned Sarah. Those are usually like... It's interesting to see how, again, original characters have evolved over the course of the years over modding. I wonder if Claire will be used again in the Perfect World Anthology. I mean, I guess that's a wait-and-see type thing. He passes right by me and goes up to a rather sad-looking house in the corner. I honestly don't know. Maybe she'll make, like, background cameos or something. I don't know. So that's where he lives. Thankfully, he didn't see me. I step out of the shadows and resume trying to find my way back home. It's not long after I find myself in familiar territory. Yes, this is my neighborhood! I spot my house and make my way over. My mom should be asleep right about now, so I'm gonna have to sneak in there quietly. I fish out the house keys from my pocket and quietly unlock the door. Then I gently open the door, hey, and step foot inside. I don't sneak out too often, but sort of got the hang of it enough so Mom will know. If not background cameos, maybe not at all. Shows her since I didn't want to make Sari go through that. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Because if it was like Sari, then it'd be like a bigger deal in terms of the mod. Because like, the MC and Sari like probably were childhood friends in this universe, so that'd be a bigger deal and maybe distract from the core story. Maybe, I don't know, that'd be my opinion of it at least. Not exactly something I'm proud of, but whatever. And you twisted my arm. Oh shit, really? I'd rather not have to explain to her what I was doing because I don't even know myself. Yeah, I just woke at this random girl's house because I got told by some redhead chick to save her. Welcome to the chat. Oh, in this universe, Sari did live as his neighbor with me. Oh! Interesting. Some shattered time lore. Turns on more of this MC's life. They moved away. So if the family moved away, then that'd probably be the reason why we don't really see Sari in this universe, then. Anyway, Since no one cares about... I mean, that's not true. Again, like, it's like Shattered Time Lore. And I guess it's like deleted backstory that, like, never saw the light of day until now. I mean, not really light of day, just, like, never really got told to anyone, I guess? Again, thanks for telling me. It's interesting to, like, know about this lore. This tidbit was going to be revealed in Modern Crusaders. That's like the future, like, modern anthology. I guess that was, like, cut? Yeah, the end of the Tarankos arc. And now it is going to be in there. Oh! That's why you said the whole thing in terms of that. Because that was like a spoiler. Okay? And yeah, understandable that you're not spoiling anything else. I mean, I think for this, it's like just character backstory that exists within like Shattered Time itself. And I mean, yeah. Again, thanks for telling me. Didn't mean to twist your arm like that, but again, thanks. I change and get ready for bed. Hopefully I can put this strange experience out of my mind, but for now it's best I don't worry about that. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about Modern Crusaders any further. That's understandable. This is like the big final mod. I'm looking forward to finding out more details about it myself when I play the mod and when it comes out. Time for another day at school. Got up as I usually did. Thankfully, it seems Mom didn't notice I was missing last night, so I don't have to explain anything to her. Good. No idea if Amy drugged me somehow or what, but I'd rather not make Mom worry. Besides, last night is something I'd like to forget if I'm being honest. Maybe some mind-numbing school will help me with that. I wish I could forget about Amy while I'm at it. That insane freak chick. They say gingers don't have souls, but ignoring the thing I have for redheads, Amy Shido is one seriously messed up chick. As I make my way through the door, I find myself shoved to the side by another student. Look to see who it was. Oh! Of fucking course it's him. It's too slow. Oh, look, yep. At least I'm not hitting up on girls on my way home like a loser. Some of the surrounding students chuckle to themselves. I even hear a few oohs as I walk past. Hey! The fuck did you just say? I'm sorry. I don't speak, loser. I walk away before I can see his face. You're fucking dead, edgelord! You hear me? I hold up my hand in a flapping mouth gesture as I go to class. Have I mentioned that I hate his guts? He's most likely gonna hunt me down after school, but it was worth it just to catch him off guard. It's also nice to hear him do something that isn't acting like an arrogant douchebag. I know I usually tune out a lot of things in school these days, but why does it feel like I already know this stuff? I half-heartedly answered a few questions in math earlier, and I was right every single time. Even the teacher was impressed by how much I apparently studied. That's the problem, though. I didn't study anything. I remember those questions from yesterday. I'm snapped back to reality like a light tapping on my shoulder. I turn around. Robbie? Are you holding up okay? Yeah, you've got a new text box there, Mayo. I mean, new text box color. That's interesting. Huh? Oh. Yeah? Why wouldn't I be? Well, I just thought, considering the news our homeroom teacher gave us this morning and all, he told this to us yesterday. Yesterday? What are you talking about? You don't remember? You know I don't like joking about this sort of thing, Mayo. No, he told us today. Yeah, because Rocketman was lazy and gave her Amy's text box because he denied me using Amy more. Ah. Okay. So I guess this will be the permanent new text box for Mayo then, considering that now that Rocketman's gone, you can use Amy more. I'm sure of it. I'm not sure what you mean. Then again, considering what today is. Yep, I made this one just for her. Oh, there's that silhouette again. No. I don't want to talk about it. This is Mayo Araki. She's probably one of the nicest girls in this entire school. With that in mind, I don't know why she still bothers talking to me. She's one of the few people in the school who doesn't think I'm some kind of annoyance. That's probably because she knew me before everything went straight to hell. Even though I don't talk to her so much these days, she still, for whatever reason, considers me a friend. Honestly, I can't even figure out why. I would have figured the new and improved me would have chased her away like it did for everyone else. After all, who wants to be friends with the edgy loner that never smiles? Oh god. And yet there's Mayo. She still tries to talk to me and she doesn't listen to anyone warning her to stay away from me. She stays silent as she gives me a concerned look. I miss her too, Robbie. It's been hard on the both of us. I know that very well. She was my best friend after all, but with you, Mayo, I seriously don't want to talk about it. Okay, I understand. So, going back to your earlier point, what day is it even anyway? Oh, it's June 4th, Robbie. Why do you ask? What? Wait, that's impossible. I take out my phone and check the date. Sure enough, she's right. What the hell? Why didn't I bother looking before? Oh, that's right. I didn't think time would reset on me like that. Robbie, you look so pale all of a sudden. Do you need... No, I don't. This doesn't make any sense. Yesterday was the 4th, right? I even remember when Amy said it was her birthday. So why... I'm unable to think any further as the bell rings and signals lunchtime. Meet me during lunch. I'm worried about you. Before I can refuse her, she gets up and walks towards the door. Just as the wild stampede of hungry animals called students knock her out of the way, Maya lets out a yelp as she nearly falls on her rear. Hey! Robbie, no, I'm fine. Even if I don't talk to her much anymore, that doesn't mean that I'll sit here and watch as her get pushed around. And even if she is one of the nicest girls in our school, that doesn't give anyone an excuse to be a douche to her. Why would... what? Like, she's one of the nicest... Huh? If she's one of the nicest people around, why would anyone be a douche to her anyway? Why would that be an excuse, huh? I don't know. Mayo's very soft-spoken and kind of small, so sometimes it's easy to forget she's there. That doesn't make it right, though. As I charge over there, Mayo puts her hand up to stop me. She gets back to her feet, giving me a sad smile. Stop! Don't get yourself into trouble over me, Robbie. As apparently when... I didn't do anything. I mean... Frick, what do you mean I mean? Honestly, like, damn. And it's also like nice people like have limits too. It's like, also it's just like, what am I saying? I don't know. I think I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, she wouldn't want to see you act out this way. I doubt she'd want to see me at all anymore. Robbie, don't think that way. Please talk to me later, okay? I won't tell you off doesn't mean you can push her around. I feel like nobody should be pushing like anybody around, really. Just kind of starts a little cycle or just causes misery. Just no one really. Damn, am I really gonna? Right away. No, you aren't. You aren't. You just. This is gonna confuse people. I mean, no, it's just like confusing me because like. Takes a little bit for me to like get stuff, unless that line is like, unless that like, I don't know. I take things literally, kind of, and the meanings like kind of, like my brain has to catch up, I think. I mean, I don't know if that line's like already confused people or not. I mean, this is just me. Honestly, and even then, I feel like my confusion wasn't really... I think I took the line too literally. Let's just go with it. How about we don't go with that? I mean, you made mods like Forlorn Hearts and Night Nurse and this whole anthology. You're not an awful writer at all. I mean, and that's also like fanfic stuff too. Like, I've seen fanfic writers kind of have like flub sentences or grammar errors, and yet it's just like the stories are still good. Like, you're not an awful writer, okay? At least I don't think you are. As I make my way to the cafeteria, I hear some footsteps coming from behind me. What? Something in my mind screams at me to dodge, so I follow through. Just in time as a fist whizzes past my head. I look back. Oh, great. It's the gorilla. You got some kind of nerve! I say nothing as I give him an annoyed stare. Are your ears not working? My ears are fine. Your brain is the thing not working, you dumb grump. What'd you call me? Guess you've never considered reading a book before. You should try it. You get to learn things that way. Then again, maybe that little brain of yours can't handle so much information. You calling me a dumbass? I mean, in a roundabout way, yes. I'm not calling you for dinner. Maybe I should call you a dumb truck instead? Chorichiro shouts angrily at me as another fist comes my way, but I luckily dodge it in time. His fist goes straight through one of the walls, making a nice fist-shaped hole in its wake. You're gonna pay for that! No, I'm pretty sure you and your parents will. You're dead, edgelord, dead! You hear me? I already told you my ears work fine, idiot. Robbie? As Joichiro pulls his hand out of the wall, we both turn to see Mayo. That's right, she was just a little bit ahead of me. A group of students crowd around us. Joichiro, you should know better than to act like such a little kid. What? Mayo gives him a stern look as she walks up to him. She's so small compared to him, and yet for whatever reason, Joichiro seems to be backing down. Honestly, you're acting so immature it's not even funny. Don't you have anything else to do with your time? But nothing. It's your fault you punched the wall. Robbie didn't make you punch the wall, did he? Joichiro is silent as he backs away from Mayo. This is a rare side to her that anyone never really sees of her. Or ever. I think ever makes more sense, yeah. She might normally be soft-spoken, but there are times she'll take a stand if she or anyone she cares about is in danger. It's almost scary to see her like this. Joichiro turns around and runs away, shoving his way through some of the surrounding students. As they disperse, Mayo turns her sights on me. And you, Robbie? Him, of all people? I didn't start that fight. He was the one being a jerk about it. I don't know about you sometimes. Come on, let's get lunch. After getting our food, Mayo led us out to the courtyard. I reflexively keep my eyes open for Amy, considering this whole thing started after I did that bizarre ritual for her. You haven't been yourself lately, and I'm not just talking about this rebellious phase you're going through. Tell me what's wrong. I don't think you'd believe me if I told you. I don't know. You'd be surprised. I've seen and heard a lot of things. Yeah, but have you ever heard the tragedy of Tarankos the Tyrant? I wish I could tell someone, but chances are they'll just send me off to the funny farm if I spill my guts. Quite a bit of alliteration with all this. Maybe there's a strategic way to handle this. Have you ever had this strange feeling of deja vu? That's what I'm going through right now, and it's getting on my nerves. So when you asked me about what day it was, that's right. I feel like I've already gone through this stuff before. I already knew about what happened to Natsuki yesterday because everything that happened yesterday happened today. Well, aside from Joichiro going ballistic on me like a mad cow, that's entirely brand new. Mayo looks like she wants to say something, but she holds back. I already fixed this and a few others. Oh, that's good. She seems to be choosing her words carefully. You think I'm a basket case now, don't you? No, that's not what I think at all. You're not a basket case, Robbie. I never once thought you were. There's just... Gosh, I wish I knew what to say right now. I don't know how to describe what I'm going through myself. It's kind of annoying. Maybe that's why I'm having a bit of fun abusing my knowledge from the future to keep myself from losing my mind. I can't say I agree with that, but then again, I've never been in your shoes. There isn't much else I could say about it. At least, regarding what I feel okay about sharing with you. No offense, of course. No, I understand. I love Mayo in this. Yeah, I think, yeah, Mayo's a pretty good character, honestly. I'm not gonna pressure you to talk to me about it at all now if you don't want to. I don't think any of this was in the original, which is interesting to see. Then again, there were... I just want you to know that you can come to me about anything, okay, Robbie? Whenever you're good and ready, take things at your own pace. You might feel like you don't have any friends at this school, but I still consider you an important friend. I haven't forgotten. I still don't understand what you see in me. I'm not the first person to see through to the real you, Robbie. I stay silent, completely disarmed by her words. I give a long sigh before I look at my food. I know. Thank you. Of course, Robbie. We eat in silence for the most part, aside from the odd question Mayo asks now and again to catch up with me. I'm surprised she's apparently so interested in me, considering I'm really nothing to her. Now, I shouldn't say that exactly. Her main link to me was a best friend. That person is long gone, though. How long has it even been? No matter the case, it feels like it's been an eternity since... No. Stop. Don't dwell on it anymore. You can't. You shouldn't. You need to move on. Robbie? Great, am I that obvious? Before she can ask me anything, the bell rings, signaling the end of lunch. I've already finished my food, so I get up and turn to Mayo. I'm fine. Now let's just get the rest of this day over with. She doesn't say anything as I turn away and make my way back into the school. I don't get a look at her face as I rush to my next class. The day is almost over. This bizarre day will be over soon. Much like earlier today, the rest of my classes seem like an absolute waste of time. I don't mean that in a figurative sense either. I mean that I've already learned the material, yet everyone thinks I'm crazy whenever I question it. I decide to stay silent. It's a free period again, so I just decide to screw around on my phone. As I'm checking Reddit, to the surprise of no one, Amy approaches me. She's probably here to ask me what happened yesterday. I sigh deeply, put my phone away, and face her. Why, hello there, Robbie. You're looking rather down in the dumps today. Penny for your thoughts? You have some nerve coming up to me, talk to me after what you pulled yesterday, Amy. She looks at me startled. Yesterday? I didn't do anything yesterday? At least nothing that's had a direct effect on you that I know about. Don't play stupid with me, Amy. You told me about how June 4th is your birthday. You told me not needed my help. Then you told me that story about Tarancos and made me do that crazy ritual. Hard to forget something like that, don't you think? Her look of surprise turns to triumph as she smiles at me devilishly. Ah, so nice of you to remember my birthday, Robbie. You're so sweet. In any case, there's no need for us to have this conversation after all. What are you going on about now? If you've already done the ritual, that means you're already up to speed on everything. That also means, however, that you failed to save Nat. Are you seriously expecting me to break into Natsuki's house to figure out how she died? Whatever it takes, Robbie. You'll be repeating the same time loop until you figure out what you have to do. So you're gonna do it and do it right. Wait. Time loop? You mean, my oh my, you're so flustered. So that's what it is. You haven't realized it yet? That's right, Robbie. Until you've completed your task, you're doomed to repeat the same time period. Didn't I mention that to you? I do tend to be forgetful at times. Why you... so this whole time? And I'm not losing my mind. I'm just repeating the same day over and over. Good grief. Wait, so if time's repeating itself, then why doesn't anyone else feel it? You were the one who did the ritual. Of course you're the only one who remembers everything you've done. Then what about you? I don't remember anything, Robbie. Besides, did you already forget I'm the one who taught you the ritual in the first place? Of course I know the ins and outs of it, so I have some idea of what you're talking about. You're such a difficult man. I'm sure I would have told you this, but then again, you are somewhat of a dense little dullard at times. Dullard? Okay? You little... Robbie. No fighting in school. Unless you want to end up like Joichiro. Besides, would you seriously hit a woman? I turn away from her. Oh yeah, Robbie. I know about that, but only because gossip travels fast in this school. Oh. If I remember right, weren't you at least kind of involved with a dour girl named... I slam my fist on the desk. Don't you dare talk about her. You're right. It's not my place. Very well, then. There's no need to be so rough with me, Robbie. I'm not that kind of girl. That aside, you know what I'm playing at. You've got a mission you need to complete to the very end. Don't mess up again, Robbie. Toronko's isn't always so forgiving. Final bell of the day rings and Amy walks away. It's still hard to believe this is all real to begin with, but there's no other explanation. Since I'm like a time traveler from the future, I'm the only one aware of what'll happen between last night and this afternoon. I did the pose with her hand like that. I used Reiko's hand to create that pose. Oh, okay. Interesting little tidbit there. Yet that fight with Joichiro didn't happen before. I mean, you didn't bring up the girls before either, so there's that. I changed one little thing about the past, and all of a sudden Joichiro goes apeshit on me. Then again, I'm supposed to change the past and save Natsuki, right? How the hell do I accomplish that? As I get out of my seat, my arms are suddenly drawn to each other as if bounded. The hell? Wait. Oh no. No! I didn't ask Amy how the loop would repeat itself. Looks like we're gonna have to go through this damned experience all over again. I feel myself getting pulled apart as I did before, and my consciousness fades away. So, Shattered Time and Forlorn Heart have like 2 different time loops. In terms of that. Like, Forlorn Heart had a shortened time loop that took place over the course of, like, probably, like, minutes. And then this time loop takes place over the course of 2 days. Interesting. Interesting difference, that. I wake up to find myself on the ground. Yeah, it's happening again. This also seems like a good place for a little be right back break. And we're back. And we're back. So, let's see how this second loop goes. I get up and see the familiar house right in front of me. Sure enough, there's the mailbox with the Sirenji name on it. I sight myself up as I approach the gate. Once again, it creaks open after barely touching it. I approach the entrance and I gently open the door. Oh, that's the second time this used. It's official! This is a completely new background! Oh, I've never seen this before. Looks good. Looks pretty good. Wonder if it's like free to use or was created and specifically for this mod. It's official. I've broken into someone's home. I know Mom will be extremely disappointed when she found out about this. I close the door as quietly as I can as I make my way into the house. The time for hesitating is long gone. I still can't believe I did that crazy ritual for Amy. I also can't believe Tarankos is apparently real. What else is going to go wrong? I shouldn't even ask. Tempting fate is just asking for more trouble. I have no idea who's inside the house, but I don't think they'll be happy with some young punk roaming around. I look at the kitchen table, which is lined with the beer bottles galore. Ooh, this is some new music. This feels adventurous. Yep, definitely adventurous. There's some coffee mugs of cold coffee sprinkled throughout the mess, as well as a bowl of leftover rice. I also see some cheap dinnerware that looks like it came from a discount store littering the inside of the sink. What happened to this place? Does someone actually live here? I grazed my hand over the counter where I find a picture frame with a picture of Natsuki and who I'm guessing are her parents. I guess that answers my question. Everyone is smiling and looking cheerful here, and yet, whenever I did see Natsuki, she never looked all that cheerful. If anything, she looked grumpy like 80% of the time I ever saw her in class, so to see this, I had no clue she could even smile. And again, a lot of the gossipers around school have made similar jokes about me, so I'm not one to talk. I turn away from the picture and look at the sink a little closer. There's a ton of baking pans in here just begging to be washed, along with some dinner plates and bowls. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, saw it. I mean, I guess there's something on Discord. There's a ton of My mom would freak out. My mom would freak out if she saw this place. I guess she's like, pretty likes cleaning up, I guess? I don't know. Good thing she isn't here then. My nose picks up a sweet smelling aroma from the baking pans. Whatever it was, it must have been really good. What if Natsuki was the one behind the baking? I can't help but think about... No, not again. She loved baking a lot back then. I think back to the time she'd make my favorite cookies just because she felt like it. Everything was so different back then. Kononoha, why did you do it? Why? Ah, Kononoha! I guess that's her appearance in this mod. I tear myself away from the sink and get away from the kitchen. I can't be in here right now. Not when memories of her are swirling around in my head. I quietly make my way upstairs. There wasn't anything else of note on the first floor aside from more chaos strewn all over the place. I choose to go into the first room I come across and gently open the door. That's 3 times now. There, right in front of me, is a pink bed with a sleeping Natsuki. She looks so peaceful and serene. What the hell am I even doing in here? I already broke into her house. Do I want to add being some kind of pervert to my list of crimes here? I'm a guy in a random girl's room, and she has no relation or feelings toward me whatsoever that you know about. Yeah, this doesn't feel awkward at all. As I back out of the room, I remember Amy's parting words to me. Don't mess this up. So, whatever it takes, right? Wait, I shouldn't be doing this. Despite how uncomfortable I begin snooping around her room. Within reason, of course. There's a mirror right by her doorway that looks kind of dusty. There's a sticky note with the number 8 on it for some reason. Below it, there's another note with a doodle of a cat drawn on it. As I inspect the room, one thing is clear. There is a lot of pink happening here. I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised or anything, but this all just feels so foreign to me. There's an array of cute little trinkets lining up one of her shelves, as well as tiny anime figurines here and there. Huh. Well, I guess that's something we sort of have in common. Well, not so much the cute anime figurines, but collecting anime figurines in general, of course. Collections. It's cool. Although the ones I go for aren't so cutesy. I stop in my tracks. Shit! I look over at Natsuki. She's still asleep. I guess she's just mumbling in her sleep. I really don't want to be caught here. I have to find some clues and get the hell out of here. I look over the shelves again and spot what seems to be a diary. Okay, maybe this ought to have some helpful information in it. I'm struck by guilt as I hold the book in my hands. I can't help but feel disgusted at myself, but I'm not doing this to stalk or prey on Natsuki like some kind of creep. I guess I only feel that way considering I'm standing in her room while she's asleep after breaking into her house. And now I'm here holding a diary of her innermost personal thoughts. I'm doing this to save your life, Natsuki. Sorry in advance. Oh! May 28th, 2019. So around 2nd, 1st, 31st, 30th, 29th, 28th, 6 days ago. So almost a week ago. Everything has been so damn depressing lately. It's honestly suffocating. I feel like I can't breathe sometimes. I haven't felt like smiling in forever. When I try to, it feels so forced and like there's no heart to it. Amy teases me saying I need to smile more, but how can I? I don't even know what's keeping me going at this point. Whatever it is, I just don't want to know what'll happen if I lose my mind. By the time I find out, it might be too late. I can't even describe how much I hate this right now. I can hear him. Right now. He's downstairs drinking again. He hasn't come up to my room yet. Please don't come in all angry or sad. Please don't do anything terrible. I don't know if I can take this anymore. Sometimes I stop and wonder what it'd be like if someone came to the house to get me out of here and keep me safe. Yeah, like that'll ever happen. This isn't a movie, Natsuki. You're not gonna meet your hero and have him save you. May 29th, 2019, so the very next day. Every day it's the same damn thing. School doesn't really interest me much anymore. And again, it honestly hasn't been the same since last year. Konoda's sudden death really changed the ambience for everyone. Oh, shit! So that's what happened. Like, Konoda, like, died, and that's why MC doesn't want to think about it. She was such a cool person, too. She was always super pretty and graceful with intelligence to boot. I swear she had it all. Just compared to someone so small and cutesy like me. I hate it when anyone calls me cute. Konoda was a lot like Yuri now that I think about it. Well, they were cousins, so maybe I shouldn't be too surprised. Hey, cool, that detail's there. From Night Nurse. From throughout all the Perfect World anthologies that mention that, honestly. We should get to hang out more to swap baking tips and secrets with each other. I hadn't felt that good about talking to someone in a long time. I lost all that on that fateful day, and now, no offense to Amy, but her and Yuri are the only other people I talk to now. Kono felt like the sister I never had. It was like I could be more like myself around her and not have to worry about scaring her off. She felt comfortable enough to tell me little things about herself as well. Like when she told me about this guy that I just so happened to sit behind in class. May 30th, 2019. I didn't even know why she told me about that guy. I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy or anything, but I could see her aiming a lot higher. The way she talks about him, though. I swear, it's like she's trying to make me fall for him or something. Not that I like him or anything, of course. I hardly know him. It was obvious she liked him. The weird thing is, the guy she was talking about sounds nothing like the guy in my class. I thought it was a mistake and I had the wrong guy, but nope. It's the very same Robbie. I even asked Mayo to make sure and she confirmed it for me. I don't know why, but ever since then, it's like I've been seeing a lot more of him around lately. And without even trying to. I don't know why I'm even talking about him right now. I just need to stop already or else... Nope, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. Not even for this silly diary entry. Jeez, tell me how you really feel about me, why don't you? Well, confirmed, Natsuki hates me. Whatever. Just as I'm about to turn the page, I hear some loud, booming footsteps. Alright, to be continued then. Shit. This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. I quickly hide under the bed, desperate to hide. That's when I notice I still have the diary in my hand. Ah, shit. I can't worry about that now. The footsteps are getting closer. I curl up as much as I can, hoping no one will see me down here. Suddenly they stop and the door opens, revealing the shadow of a lone figure looming in the doorway. Whoever it is, they're giving off a murderous aura that I can feel all the way from down here. He slowly walks into the room. Can't get a good look at him, unfortunately, so I decide to stay low and be quiet. Natsuki, are you still awake? Were you waiting for me? I'm sorry. I just finished work, so I'm a bit late. Thanks for waiting up, though. What? I didn't hear a car pulling up from outside. In fact, there was already a car parked out in front. Goddamn liar. What's this guy's angle? Natsuki rustles in her bed. I hear the springs creak as she sits up. She doesn't say anything to him. This has to be her father, I assume. You know, things have been very rough these last few days. I mean, yeah, her diary is evidence of that. Things haven't been going well at all for me at work. They got mad at me today because I didn't get a report done in time. They took the thing and threw it in my face and went on about all the little editing mistakes I made. Like what? Probably spent 10 minutes telling me how it was worthless to them and that I need to improve. Damn, those sound like strict standards. I mean, maybe if they'd actually tell me what I need to improve and how. Yeah, exactly. Be constructive. It's like I agree, be constructive, because if you aren't constructive about it, then nothing really gets done. I mean, I guess that is why it's called constructive criticism, because it's aiming to, like, help the person you're criticizing, like, improve their work with advice so they can build it up more. Interesting, that. I shouldn't be complaining too much, should I? The diary did mention how her dad seems to drink a lot, and how you don't want to be around him when he's sad or angry. So Natsuki only has her father in her life. I'm snapped back to reality as he gets closer to the bed. That's when I notice something behind his back. At least the shadow of it. What? No. No! You can't. You can't. Oh! Oh, that's. Oh, fuck! Guess this is what MC saw before. Whoa. Whoa, boy. Yeah, I feel like that messed anybody up. Just seeing someone like... Wow. May not tell me you're on my side. You are on my side, right, Natsuki? You won't just up and leave me out of the blue like your mother did, right? You'll stay here by my side, won't you? I'm on your side. I won't go anywhere, I promise. It sure doesn't sound like she believes the words coming out of her mouth. She said all that in a hushed whisper. I haven't even seen the guy, but he's already making my skin crawl. Meanwhile, she has to see and talk to him every day. I don't think I'd be able to do that if he was my old man. Her father chuckles to himself before letting out a deep sigh. Tell me, Natsuki, if I said I wanted to die, would you die with me? Whoa, no. Dad? What are you saying? It's gotten very hard to keep on living, you see. I can't handle this anymore. It's all just too much. I can't deal with it now. The world is a cruel, unforgiving place. I feel like there's only one way to make the suffering just stop. Just end it all and be free from strife and grief. I can't do that, though. That'd be selfish of me. If I did that, I'd be leaving you by yourself with no one else in the world, and be able to forgive myself. You'd be all alone in this damn cruel world without anyone to take care of you. I can't just do that, so I'm asking you. Please, die with me. Dad, it's happening all over again. I can still see those lifeless lavender eyes looking back at me. They never failed to pierce into my own with how brilliantly they shone. At least not until I saw her that day. The day she was taken from this world. This guy is fucked in the head. Relax, Nat, I have it all planned out and everything. He takes whatever he was holding behind his back and holds it out to Natsuki. I knew it. It was a pistol. You'll go first, so you won't have to do the job yourself, then I'll go after you. Dad, stop! What are you... Oh, fuck. Before I can react, I hear a gunshot. He killed his own daughter. I have to muffle my mouth as Natsuki's body slumps over, her hand dangling from the edge of the bed. I feel like I'm gonna throw up right now. What the actual fuck? I'm gonna do something so batshit insane without hesitation. He's breathing heavily as he reloads the gun. Don't worry, Natsuki, I'm right behind you. There's a silence in the air as nothing happens. I look to see his shadow again. He's holding the gun to the roof of his mouth, but his hands are trembling. There's no second gunshot. He's just standing there. I can't pull the damn trigger. I can't do it, Natsuki. I just can't do it. I can't finish the job. I'm too scared to do it myself. He drops to his knees, letting out an anguished cry that rattles the windows. No, I just killed my only daughter. I killed the only person I had left in this world. Natsuki, what have I done? Hey, do you think I'd be better off dead? It's all starting to make sense now. Natsuki, your dad makes mine look like a friggin' saint. Which is pretty bad at this point. Considering all of the stuff you've told me about your dad. Natsuki's life cut short by the hands of her own father. She was forced to do a double suicide by him after he went batshit insane. She's trying to put up some bit of a fight only for him to kill her anyway. I don't know what else she could have done, but what can you do when you're defenseless against someone with a goddamn gun? How bad was her life for everything to end like this for her? Is that why she asked me that question? Why though? Who's there? What? I look to see a deranged-looking man glaring right at me. You're not having your way with my daughter. He roars to life as he tries to grab me. I do my best to lift the bed as I get up, and then shove it right at him, sending it and Natsuki's body crashing on him. I can't waste time grieving for Natsuki. I'm sorry, Natsuki, but your killer, insane dad is coming after me now. With no choice, I jump out of the window. I land in some bushes. I look up to see if he's there. He isn't. Good. I run. I went as far as I could go. After jumping out the window, I fell pretty badly and injured my shoulder, but I can't let that stop me now. I have to run. I have to live. I look up and see that I'm still clutching Natsuki's diary. Well, there's no point in trying to return it now unless I want to share Natsuki's fate. Her dad is a goddamn psychopath! I managed to make it home. Looks like I outran him. Oh, frick, I accidentally hit. Assuming he was chasing after me in the first place, I wasn't going to bother checking to be sure. I get into the house as fast as I can, making sure I locked the door behind me. I don't think he got a good look at my face, thankfully, but I doubt he's gonna give up me so easily. After all, I'm the sole witness to his messed up crime. I clean myself up in the bathroom and take some painkillers for my shoulder. Damn, hopefully this won't be so bad in the morning. I don't think Mom heard anything. I swear she could sleep through anything with how much of a heavy sleeper she is. Luckily for me, I suppose. I get ready for bed, trying to put this whole experience out of my mind. I can't do it, though. I just witnessed Natsuki's father kill her in cold blood like it was nothing. How do you forget something like that? I'm not gonna sleep well tonight. Assuming I can even sleep at all. Frick, I think I accidentally skipped the second half of that. Alright, June 4th again. So I guess Kononoha's like suicide is like the bit of backstory you added on to it. I mean, of course it is, I just saw it. It's time for another day at school. Only this time it's not even another day. I'm reliving the same damn day as if I were in some kind of movie or video game. Well, I mean, you did get it right for the latter, but you don't really know that yet. You don't really have the self-awareness. Despite this revelation, I got up as I usually did. Mom didn't notice I was missing once again, so I don't have to explain anything to her. Even if I did, I doubt anyone would believe me. Hey, I'm from the future and I came back to the past to stop a murder. To all the people. Is this a good enough reason for you all? I mean, I can't really answer that considering I wasn't one of those people who thought the MC was annoying for no reason. I wonder if they'll even, like, answer at all. But in terms of that, it is, like, an interesting, like, addition to the backstory. Just his parents splitting up, but he deals with depression and major PTSD. Yeah. I know they won't. How the rest of the model will transpire. Again, it's pretty interesting, like, to see, like, this version, like, what's different, what's, like, been, like, kept the same, and then what's changed. It's interesting to look at, like, remasters of stuff and see what's, like, different. It's the same, I literally just said that. Now, they'll send the goons with their white nets to lock me up in a padded room for sure. I wish I didn't have to see that freak chick Amy, or anyone else for that matter. Whoops, too slow. Oh, I think this is gonna turn into a different confrontation. I wish I didn't have to see this dipshit either. At least Amy is sort of easy on the eyes. This guy makes my stomach churn. I look past him and sidestep him entirely to get to my locker. As I do that, he slams his fist on the locker next to mine. You got some kind of nerve! He didn't even say anything this time! I give him a vacant stare as I turn to look at him. Talk to me when I'm talking to you! Yeah, I guess so you can... Alright, I get it. You need, like, a justification in your head as to what you want to, like, Also, you want attention, but, you know, a justification in your head as to why you want to... Bullies, you know, they either want attention and they want to feel in power, but then they get, or so they get like angry if anyone like stands up to them or talks back, and so that's their justification to beat you up. Just, nah, I'm just gonna ignore this asshole. I turn back to face my locker when he continues running his mouth. You think you're too good to talk to me? Hey, answer me! I'm sorry, were you saying something? Speak up. I don't think they heard you in Cuba. As I pass by him, I hear some students snickering to themselves as Joichiro tries to contain his outrage. Get back over here and say that to my face! I'm sorry, I don't speak, loser. Much like in the previous loop, I hold my hands up in a flapping mouth gesture as I go to class. All the while, he runs his mouth about how I'm so fucking dead or whatever. I swear he's such a waste of oxygen. I decided to test out a little theory before actually going to class. I got the time, so why not? I look around and walk into a random classroom. Today is just gonna repeat itself, so there's no need to worry. What's the worst that could happen? Getting expelled? I wouldn't want to do anything that crazy, even with my curse of repeating the same day. I scan the room and walk up to a girl sitting by herself. Hey! Me? What's your name? I'm Aiko. Aiko? Okay. Who was your favorite teacher in junior high? That'd be Mr. Oikawa, aka Mr. Sexy, as me and my friends used to call him. Well, I guess I'd have to actually see Mr. Oikawa to find out why. I miss him. That's nice. Well, see ya. Hey, wait! What's with the random questions? Are you trying to ask me out? If you are, you're doing a really bad job at it. I turn on my heel and walk out of that class. I'll hang on to that seemingly useless information for later. I have time to start my day properly. Much like in the previous loop, I'm able to answer almost every question flawlessly despite not having studied a damn thing. The teachers were impressed while the other students looked at me in shock and awe. I never spoke up in class all that much, and I was never much of a star student, so this must have been a surprise. The lesson was done for this class, so we had time to ourselves before lunch. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask, how long would an average, like, playthrough of this mod be? Like, this remastered version? Because it seems to be longer since there's, like, more detail in, like, the time loops. No idea. Oh, well, I guess... I guess I'm gonna find that out for myself. As I rested my head on my desk, I heard some students whispering about how strange I was being. Someone even said I could rival Monica if I was secretly holding out on how smart I was. I wouldn't be able to meet her level even if I wanted to. I'm like 3 hours into my playthrough and maybe at the halfway mark? Oh, okay, well this is that definitely is a bit longer then. She can keep her spot as being the school idol. I honestly don't care much about my grades these days. I'm brought out of my thoughts by a light tapping on my shoulder. I turn to meet a familiar face. Hello, Mayo. Robbie? Are you holding up okay? Yeah, why wouldn't I be? Well, I just thought considering the news our homeroom teacher gave us this morning and all. Yeah, I know. It's a damn shame. Coupled with what today is, I was just wondering if you were feeling okay. I'm fine. It's no big deal. I haven't thought about her all that much. It's okay to miss her, Robbie. She was my best friend. I miss her too. I know what you're trying to do, Mayo, but I just don't want to talk about it right now. Well, I know you're probably not gonna like this, but I need to talk to you a little more. Meet me during lunch. Just like yesterday. As she heads for the door, a wild animal stampede proceeds to knock her out of the way. I manage to get a hold of her as she stumbles. She looks at me, admittedly flustered. Oh, thank you, Robbie. I don't say anything as I let her go and continue on my way. Maybe I can't stop those idiots from knocking her out of the way, but I can at least be there to catch her before she falls. I know that she would have done the same thing for me in my position. After all, she was a very headstrong person. Stubborn, but graceful, intelligent, and loyal to the end. That fierce loyalty was something I always admired about her. Damn it! Stop thinking about her! She's gone and there's nothing you can do about it! Thinking about her is only gonna make you more of a depressed loser than you already are. Walking to the cafeteria, I hear some footsteps behind me. I turn around, and sure enough, it's the gorilla. Hey. Oh, sure, now you want to talk to me? You know, another thing with bullies is there's absolutely no winning with them. You don't talk to them, they just get pissed off, but then you do talk to them or talk back, and then they get pissed off. All they want out of any conversation is to feel good about themselves because, you know, they have power over you, and that's how they win. And that's it. And they keep it up because nothing in their life will ever make them happy, so they have to resort to putting other people down and making them feel miserable so they can share in that. God, that was At least that's how I think bullies work. Just miserable people trying to make other people miserable in some fucked up attempt to make themselves happy. Of course that doesn't work, but they won't realize that. There's a reason the two worst years of my life because of people like that. Yep. Gotta do it. The never-ending cycle. I'm not in the mood to talk to you right now, Joichiro. I know you're here to beat my face in, but don't waste your time. You think you can order me around, you little punk? I'm not ordering you around, you dink. I'm just giving you a suggestion. Clearly, you've decided to ignore it. What? So you don't want to fight me? What's the matter? Are you scared? Scared of what? You? You're about as scary as the 1960s Bondzilla. Well, that's a reference. Don't really know much Godzilla lore aside from like all the recent movies. Oh, really? Hey, wait, I just remembered something. What was it again? Oh, that's right. What's today? What's this? Is he actually using his brain for something? Oh, that's right. Something happened last year. What was that again? Oh, that's right. Wasn't there that one chick who went and killed herself? What did he just say? I know what he's trying to do, and I know I shouldn't fall for it, but damn it, it's working. What was that bitch called again? I can't remember. Oh, well, not like she was all that important anyway. She was just a stupid little... Before he could finish that sentence, I decked him in the mouth as hard as I could. I swear I could hear a sickening crack. Honestly, it filled me with pleasure hearing that. Had no idea he had a glass jaw. You know, another thing, they don't really follow logic. If you keep her name out of your fucking mouth! Which I guess is... Ah, that's a reference to the Oscars 2022 with the Will Smith stuff. I wonder how many people actually, like, either got that or will get that during their playthroughs. Yeah, that's what I start. Okay, writing this. Count. Anyways, things are heating up, then. Come on, man, I was only playing around. Keep her goddamn name out of your fucking mouth! Jeez, man, shit. Well, but thanks for... wanted to get a lot out. I mean, at least it's like a phrase that works like in terms of like, you know, like that would be a thing someone would say to someone if they like really pissed off. So, you know. Also, again, that's pretty rich in terms of like, oh, just chill out, man. That's why I chose it. You know, because it's like, you started this. It's not like I said something like, Kodanoa's a fucking slut. My logic and reasoning were gone in that moment, as, you know, you kind of said the thing already in terms of, like, it's not like I said this. My logic and reasoning were gone in that moment, as was Joichiro's, but I think that was gone a long time ago. Replaced by a hot, intense rage. One moment he was standing hunched over just in front of me. The next, he was on the ground with me kneeling over him, senselessly beating the shit out of him. Other students came by to watch as soon as they heard me yell at him to never say her name again. Just in time to watch the match of the century. Actually, I think it'd be more accurate to call this a massacre since Joichiro wasn't putting up much of a fight. Which is ironic considering he was the one who was like, "Oh, you don't want to fight me?" After I knocked him to the ground, I put all my weight on his legs and started beating him in his face. I didn't care who was watching. I didn't care what the consequences were. Don't you ever say her name again! You hear me? I proceeded to keep punching his face in. It sounded like he was trying to speak. What's that? I can't hear you! Robbie, stop! Hearing her voice suddenly snapped me out of my trance-like rage. I looked down at Joichiro, who seemed to pass out. All eyes were on me as I stopped beating the daylights out of him and I got to my feet. Maya took me by the hand, a pleading look on her face. Come with me, Robbie, we need to talk, now! I looked between her and Joichiro lying unconscious on the floor. I looked back at her and not- That escalated so fast! Holy shit! With her hand gripping my wrist, she led me away from all the prying eyes looking at us. I don't put up any resistance as she keeps pulling me away. As we keep going, I notice that we pass by the cafeteria. Mayo, this is important! The last time this happened, we got our food before coming out here. Then again, the last time this happened, you didn't beat the hell out of friggin' Joichiro, so, you know, I think things seem more urgent this time. This time it seems like we're skipping all that and she's heading straight to the chase. Mayo? I feel a stinging sensation on my cheek. It all happened so quickly. I touched my cheek and looked at Mayo. She glared at me with tears in her eyes. What's wrong with you? Do you think Kononoha would be happy seeing you this way? She never would have wanted to see you senselessly beating up another student like that, even if it is a jerk like Joichiro. Kono, I fell to my knees, nearly falling to the ground before putting my arms out to support me. That slap, gee, yeah, damn. I feel something run down my cheek. Blood? No. My arm might be stronger than she looks, but she didn't slap me hard enough to make me bleed. No. Cheers. Why now, of all times? I end up sobbing uncontrollably just thinking of what Kononoha would think of me right now. I haven't cried like this since the day she died. Mayo gets closer to me, putting her hands on my shoulders before bringing me close to her. It's okay. I know you didn't mean to hurt him. I'm sorry. It's okay, Robbie. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Talk to me. What's wrong? There's more to this than just Kononoha, isn't there? I don't... It takes me a moment to calm myself down. I haven't cried in front of anyone like this in a long time. If old man was here, he'd make fun of me for being so weak to break down and cry like that. Crying in front of a girl on top of it all. Oh, probably made a special mention of that specifically, like, you don't cry in front of people. You don't cry in front of people. That makes you weak. You especially don't cry in front of girls. They can smell your weakness and they exploit it, or some bullshit like that. Love you, Dad. Not, right? Considering all the shit he seems to have done. Yeah, well, that bastard isn't here, thankfully. I inhale and try to compose myself as I get to my feet. You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you. I made those crying eyes for her. Oh, yeah. They look pretty good. Try me. Fine, but you better not call the goons with the big white nets to take me away. Maya looks at me astonished before nodding. We both sit down at the fountain. Okay, so this is gonna sound bizarre, but this is actually the third time I've experienced this day. What? Yeah. I already knew about Natsuki's death because I've already gone through this exact same damn day already. It's all thanks to that freak chick Amy. She told me something about how to save Natsuki's life. She told me this story about how some guy called Taranko, so now he can turn back time. Also, considering, like, probably should have changed this before. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be, like, parts to this. Her eyes widened as she hung on my every word. I don't know how she did it, but she got me to do this weird ritual, and before I knew it, here I am, reliving this goddamn day over and over again. And for what? I actually saw how she died, Mayo. I actually broke into her house like a fucking criminal, and I hate myself for it. The real criminal, though, is her piece of shit dad. I had to watch him splatter her brains all over her head like a damn coward when his little double suicide plan didn't work out. I still see her in my mind, Mayo. That day. Oh, there it is again. Is that like a CG specifically made for this mod, or like a... No, I doubt a CG like that would be like free to use. Oh, that was made for Emerald Heart. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That mod seemed to have been like discontinued. Yep, the band mod. The famous band mod before other mods got banned. Like I think the most recent band mod was Art Castle Walls. So, I mean, I'm losing my fucking mind over here, and I don't know what to do about it. I know I'm supposed to save Natsuki's life, but what the hell does that mean? You didn't see what I saw. It's like I'm going through this all over again, and I'm lost. I can feel my mind spiraling out of control as I slam my face in between my hands. When I'm done, she stands up and grabs one of my wrists and hoists me to my feet. The hell? I thought you weren't gonna call them to take me away. I'm not. Just come with me. There's someone we need to talk to about this. What about lunch? Forget lunch. We have to hurry. In addition to the challenge of making a poor man's amour for tea, I also challenged myself to use some of those CGs since I've never seen many people use them. Probably because they're from unbanned mods, so we don't want someone to recognize that and make the mod like staying just by having a CG be from a banned mod. I don't know how that works. Sorry. Besides, if you really are repeating the same day, you can eat later. I follow her closely as she drags me by the wrist back into the school. Alright, this seems like a good time for another little be right back break. And we're back! Let's see what Mayo has to say, or who we're seeing. With Mayo dragging me around, we navigate through the corridors, dodging some suspicious glances as we did so. I'm pretty sure by now everyone knows how I almost killed Joichiro. I wouldn't be surprised if the police would be getting involved soon. What are we doing here, considering what happened earlier? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be arrested if I stay here too long. I know that, Robbie. That's why we have to hurry. I don't know if this is gonna help. If you stay with me, you'll probably get arrested as my accomplice. Mayo ignores my little joke as we head up the stairs that lead to the roof. I don't think I've really been out on the roof like this before. It's practically dead out here. The only other person I see is a girl with violet hair and amethyst eyes reading silently to herself. Yuri! Right? Wait a minute. Before I can say anything, Mayo continues dragging me by the wrist, taking me right over to her. As I get a closer look, my suspicions are confirmed. Without a doubt. Yep, there we go! Yuri Katsura! Yuri! Oh, Mayo! The roof is empty like my soul, except for Yuri. Well, I mean, the roof also has a... You know what? I don't know what I'm trying to construe from this. I mean, I don't think your soul is empty. I mean, I hope it isn't. Like, because Yuri is one of the ones I connect to the most. Yeah, I agree. I find Yuri to be a pretty relatable character, honestly. Like, so she lives in my soul. Interesting. And I can see why. Again, like I said, she's a pretty relatable character in terms of, like, social awkwardness and, like... I guess, like, headcanon is, like, maybe having autism or something? Like, I've seen that happen in, like, a few months. Like, the one I think comes to mind is, like, True Literature Club, where she does have autism, so, like, at least that's what it says there. I don't know, I can... Point being, she's relatable. A ton of people have debated that. Okay. Oh, Mayo, I don't usually see you up here. Unless Dan Salvato says anything, it'll be just a theory. A game theory! Yeah, it's an obvious reference. Obvious. Let's move on. I know it's been a while since we've spoken, but we've got some trouble. He needs your help. She looks over at me curiously. Yuri is Kononoha's cousin, so while we are somewhat acquainted with each other, it's not like we're exactly buddy-buddy or anything. I wouldn't doubt it, though. Yeah, me neither. Trouble? What do you mean? The kind of trouble I think only you and Kononoha would know how to solve. Her eyes widen as she glances between me and Mayo. She closes her book and stands up. Robbie has some kind of curse put on him. He mentioned the name Tarankos. We've no time to lose, then. I know you'd rather not skip school, but no, this is of far more importance than school if he is involved. I hate to interrupt, but could we move it along before the police show up? Police? Dear Lord, what are you talking about? Robbie kinda beat Joichiro within an inch of his life for talking bad about Kononoha. Yuri stared at me blankly before putting a hand on my shoulder. I understand. Admittedly, I wouldn't appreciate that delinquent for bad-mouthing my cousin either, although I can't say I agree with your approach. Let's hurry through the back of the school. I know a few ways to get out of the school discreetly. If you don't mind me asking, any particular reason why? Well, let's just say I'd rather avoid interacting with too many people, especially after my cousin's unfortunate passing. Yeah, if Joichiro's like saying this, if Joichiro's bad-mouthing Kononoha to MC, he's definitely doing that to Kononoha's like cousin. We don't say much else as we weave through the hallways and out of the school. We've made it. Quick, come inside! Yuri unlocks the door and holds it open for us as Mayo and I scurry inside. She locks it behind us and proceeds to close the blinds. We should be fine here. I doubt anyone followed us. Now then, Robbie, tell me exactly what happened. How did you get mixed up with him? We all sit down on the couches in the living room. I more or less tell her the same stuff I told Mayo, minus some of the emotional breaking down I had with her. Her eyes widen when I got to the part with Amy, and she holds her hand up to interrupt me. You said Amy told you the tragedy of Tarankos the Tyrant. Ooh! Ooh, new music. You also said she somehow coerced you into performing this ritual. Tell me how she did that. I don't remember exactly, but I just remember she started to sing this song. The next thing I knew, my body started moving on its own, and everything after that gets a little patchy. This is worse than I thought. I initially figured you willingly went along with her plan, but on the contrary, you were being controlled, Robbie. Amy sang that song to make you do what she wanted. What? How the hell does that work? Perhaps I should explain a few things. Ooh, my lord! Konoha had never told you about her heritage, but I know she was tempted to since she trusted you so much. I kinda knew only because Kono trusted me so much. I just didn't know the full extent of everything. Tell me what? What about your heritage? Neither of you are making any sense here. Stop keeping me in the dark already and give it to me straight. Yuri, it's only proper that you tell him everything yourself. Very well. You see, Robbie, Kono and I are descendants of a tribe of dark magic users called the Dark Interlopers. Kind of lines up with what, like, your lore was in Wicked Witchcraft. And except it was kind of different. The whole thing of, like, part of a dark thing with Tarankos, that's what I meant by that. My ancestors renounced the ways of that brutish cult long ago after they saw through the lies. I'm guessing the Wicked Witchcraft universe didn't. And the atrocities the Dark Interlopers committed. After this awakening, they saw and you. Typos everywhere. I guess something like autocorrect or autofill was like being, oh! Honestly, typos, like, don't really, like... I fixed these. Oh! Oh, now I'm seeing that. I mean, honestly, again, like I said before, it's like... If the story's, like, good enough, then the typos, like... don't really, like... Either you don't notice them, or they just become, like, nitpicks. Unless you're a certain channel on YouTube. Channel on YouTube? Wait, what channel is... You know what, I'm getting the sense that you probably wouldn't tell me anyway, because, like, you know, the whole... You know, there's, like, disclaimers on, like... Yep, there you go. I'm not gonna say his name because, like... Yeah, I don't think I'd go after that channel in terms of, like, posting a comment or something, but, like... Better safe than sorry, honestly. After this awakening... You won't, but someone might. Oh yeah, I am streaming this live, so... Yeah. Either way, better safe than sorry. So we'll release a patch when we can. There we go. There's also, like, the benefit that this is, like a video game that you can, like, code, so you can, like, go back and update it to fix, like, typos like this. So, it's their updates. So, there's also that, too. Kono and I don't have any sort of magic power, but our family held on to a lot of the old texts the Dark Interlopers used. These consist of a lot of the spells and rituals shared by by none other than Zaretha and Tarankos himself. Ah, there's a Zaretha mention. Wait a minute, who's Zaretha? Do you not know who Zaretha is? I thought Amy told you the story of Tarankos. Well, she mentioned two brothers and a floozy. Is that supposed to be Zaretha? Huh. Well, that's oddly convenient for her. Very well. Allow me to fill in the blanks. In a distant realm far from our own, there lived 3 siblings. Ooh, some lore! Articus the Creator, Tarankos the Time Wizard, and the younger sister Zaretha, who was able to create and destroy life at will. So I guess that might connect to the whole thing that went wrong with Articus in terms of doing the life. Because Zaretha since Zaretha could create that, and then she's in her prison, so she can't really do that anymore. Wait a minute. If Zaretha's able to create and destroy life, then I guess that maybe that virus that was in Night Nurse is an extension of that, because it created that fake Sayori that had, like, her own that was able to remember the history and have a personality and everything. Either that or I'm wrong, but like, it's certainly something to think about. I wrote a small excerpt on what happened and why Articus never wants to create life again, but yep, more spoilers. I'll probably find that out in time. Unlike Articus, Zaretha was very selfish and lusted for power. She was incredibly vain and thought only of herself. She never once thought about those she hurt in her wake. It was also said she used her beguiling looks and magic abilities to seduce men into doing her bidding. Creating and destroying life at will? That's a scary thought. She became a great threat, which prompted Articus and Tarankos to team up to put a stop to her. Overpowered by their teamwork, Zaretha was imprisoned in a place known only as the Pit. Despite being imprisoned by her older brothers, she could still interact with those she had a connection to. So Zaretha's the youngest of the siblings. More bionicle. Okay. The Pit, by the way. Okay. And so she manipulated and tricked Tarankos into betraying Articus. His mind was already fractured by a terrible accident. She took advantage of this to make him believe Articus had plans to betray him. In short, Zaretha is nothing more than a cruel manipulator and a seductress who used her magic, looks, and prowess to get what she wanted. So all the better she's in that prison then. In that pit. That song you mentioned is most likely Zaretha's song, which is something only passed down to a certain bloodline within the Dark Interlopers. If that's the song Amy used, then does that mean there's no doubt in my mind? Amy is also a descendant of the Dark Interlopers. Ooh, okay. Unlike my family, though, it sounds as though hers is still rooted in carrying out the will of Tarankos. What am I supposed to do then? I don't know how to deal with this crap. I wish I knew. What are you saying? I only know a little bit about the dealings of the Dark Interlopers, but my mother forbade me from ever looking into it too much. When grandmother died, my mom and aunt inherited some of the ancient texts and artifacts she amassed in the hopes of keeping them out of the hands of ordinary people. I imagine Aunt Tsubasa was very much the same when it came to how she raised Kononoha. Even if the answer was in one of these texts, it would take us forever to go through it all before time loops once again. There's also no guarantee that it's in one of the books in this house. For all I know, the answer could very well be somewhere in the books residing in Kononoha's house. Shit. I'm so screwed now, aren't I? Maybe not. Please resume your story and tell me more about what you experienced in those time loops. I let out a deep sigh and try my best to regain my composure. I tell her about how I broke into Natsuki's house to look for some clues, only to bear witness to her death and relive the painful memory of seeing her. Yuri stops me before I can utter Kononoha's name, meekly putting her hand on top of mine. You've been through so much, Robbie. I'm so sorry you got entangled in all this. If only Kononoha were here, she would have been a lot more helpful than me, that's for sure. Yeah, that is certainly a thought, or an alternate timeline to go into. Yuri, no, don't say that. The fact you're even listening to me and trying to explain all this is more than enough, Yuri. You're helping plenty. Yuri gives a timid smile as she looks away from me. I'm caught off guard when she gets up from the couch suddenly. Wait a minute, there might be a small way I can help. I might not be able to stop time from resetting, but I can at least manipulate what gets reset. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Before Mile and I can say anything, she rushes out of the room. She returns moments later with what appears to be a jewelry box. So, what's in there? Something that should hopefully be of some help to us. She sits back down and opens the jewelry box, revealing an assortment of rings, pendants, puzzle pieces. Puzzle pieces! That's what Forlorn Hearts MC had in his, like, comatose dream world. And even some heavy-looking padlocks. But, yeah, he didn't have the rest of the stuff. Strangely enough, they all looked like they were made from the same metal. Everything in here is crafted from pure xenothion metal! That's what the puzzle pieces were made from! Xenothion metal. So the MC in Forlorn Hearts only had a few pieces of the full equipment. Huh. I've never heard of that kind of metal. I'd have been shocked if you had. This metal is forged and crafted through dark interloper alchemy. Ancient alchemy Ankos shared the secret to. Its properties allow it to cancel and nullify magic. As such, it will remain wherever it is and in whatever condition it is, no matter what sort of magic is performed on it. So that's how those puzzle pieces stayed throughout, ate in like Forlorn Heart MC's pocket throughout his loops. That's pretty cool. That includes anything from Tarankos. That's nice and all, but how is this gonna help me? Yuri reaches into the box and pulls out 2 rings. She takes one for herself and hands one over to Mayo. Objects made from xenothiod can affect some of the things around them, or the people around them, so long as they have it on them at all times. At the very least, now that we know about the time reset, Mayo and I can be prepared to help you by keeping our memories intact from each time loop. Funny lady. Oh, funny lady. Oh, where? What? Xeno... What? The face Yuri's making right now. Oh, okay. Okay. That's actually kind of helpful. That is incredibly helpful. Because like then you can come up with a plan of action the next day, aka a meme on my channel. Oh. Huh. I'll have to like watch some of the stuff from your channel, like the dev commentaries. Those will be good. She reaches in and pulls out a pendant and a lock with a key on it, handing them both to me. The pendant is just for an emergency, but I doubt you'll need it since you're the one with the curse. Well, you know what they say about Chekhov's guns. If it's introduced, it'll probably get used in some form later. Your memories will carry over by default. As for the lock, if you have some kind of large box or even a door it can latch on to, use it there. Now, what would have happened if Forlorn Hearts MC had that whole pendant and key thing? I guess we'll never know, really. Perhaps if you find any clues, you could keep them with you without having to lose them when the time resets. That's right. I found Natsuki's diary right before I ran into that psychopath father of hers. While I don't condone stealing, we're in some rather dire straits here. Also, Mayo definitely doesn't condone that either. She looks angry. So you need to do what you must to get to the bottom of this mystery. Whatever clues you could find, make sure you hold on to them at all costs. Right. I think we still have a little over 2 hours before the start of the next loop, based on what you've told me. Mayo is basically the mom friend. Yeah, kinda. I think it might be best to stay here at least until that time comes. Yeah, we've already ditched school. I'm pretty sure the police are out looking for me as well. Mayo rolls her eyes at me disapprovingly as she gets up from the couch to go into the kitchen. I have to say that I never would have expected you to lash out at Joichiro in that way. I know he's stupid, a pain in the ass. Not the words I would have chosen, but yes. Anyway, even so, I never would have imagined you'd have done that. You've certainly changed for the time we've met, Robbie. Yeah, well, things change. People die. Say, you've almost completely changed. I'm surprised you haven't dyed your hair blonde and become a delinquent. I thought... It seems everything changed the day Konoha left this earth. I stay silent. After all this time, I never really thought about it before. Dyed your hair blonde and become a delinquent. I feel like that's a reference to something, because it seems a little specific. After all this time, I never really thought about it before. At the time, I already had enough bullshit in my life, courtesy of my deadbeat dad, but the way Konoha died... The day Konoha died, I felt like I lost something. I'm proud of myself. A reference to Japanese culture. Oh, is that what Japanese people do if they go delinquent? I've never been to Japan. The only Japanese thing I really know about is like anime, and I don't know if that helps. I mean, I guess keeping it short, I've never really been to Japan. Kind of, from what I know. Oh, my apologies. I was overstepping my boundaries, wasn't I? No, it's fine. It's just, I don't know how to respond to that, honestly. Konoha wouldn't want to see you feeling this way, Robbie. She would have wanted to see you happy and living a good life. Well, that's easier said than done, otherwise I'd probably be doing that right about now. She was always better at this kind of thing. I'm sorry I can't be of any further help to you, Robbie. You've already done enough for me, Yuri. Don't sweat the big stuff. Not even the therapist my mom sent me to have done anything to help with the healing process. Alright, Robbie. I suppose in light of this new information, I'll see what I can do to figure out a solution to this predicament. We don't have a lot of time, though. Well, yes, relatively speaking. As much as I'm not one to miss school, I feel like it is necessary means to search for answers. Wait, you're gonna ditch school? Only because I need time to look through what texts and relics left over from Grandma. Not because I inherently want to, Robbie. Oh, right. There's nothing to worry about, Robbie. Besides, you've said the day has repeated itself twice already, correct? Well, yeah, but I mean, relax, Robbie. Nothing will happen to my academics considering I can just simply repeat the day once everything has been corrected. I mean, I think so. Usually when, like, time loops, when the thing that's, like... No, the thing that's, like, I guess required to resolve the loop or whatever happens the day before, so this wouldn't be too big of a deal? I don't know. And I guess this is another one of the wait-and-see things. I guess you're right. Still, though, making you miss school on my account just doesn't sit right with me. Well, at least that part of you is very much the same. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, never mind. Wait, so if you're gonna ditch school, should I not bother with it either? I don't think that would be a wise decision, Robbie. I mean, considering how everything just kept escalating, yeah. After all, you're at the center of this curse. Myra and I are now outliers thanks to you revealing the truth to us. Even more so due to the use of these artifacts. Figures. I know you detest school, but it's important that you go about the day as per usual as to not cause any major disturbances. Oh, I thought... Oh. Kinda missed the context. Oops. Again, probably a me thing, nothing to really do with confusing writing or anything. Amy said that Tarankos could punish me if I don't follow the rules of this whole thing. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure if that's the case, but it wouldn't be wise to tempt fate now, would it? Yeah, I guess you're right. Don't worry, Robbie, I'll still go to school with you. We both look over to see Maya walking in with some cups of freshly made... I thought I heard the doorbell ring. Never mind. Walking in with some cups of freshly made tea for us on a tray. Okay. Well, I was wondering where you'd gone off to, Maya. I figured we could use a little tea break after all the sneaking around we did today. Among other things. You're not gonna let that go, are you? Especially now that you can, like, remember that all happening. How do you expect me to, Robbie? If I'm being honest, what I saw back there was just really scary for me. Maya sets the tray down on the table in front of us as she takes the seat beside Yuri. I'm just hoping you never do anything like that again to anyone. Even if it's someone like Joichiro, what you did wasn't right. I know that, Mayo. I lost myself back there. That's all there is to it. Just promise me you won't lose yourself like that again. I don't like seeing that side of you. I make no promises, but I'll do my best not to snap like that again. Oh, Robbie, what am I gonna do with you? The girls chat with each other as I try to relax and enjoy my tea. Thinking about it, I haven't really had tea since... Wow. The more I think about it, the more I feel like maybe I did lose a part of myself the day Konoha had died. I look at my watch. It's almost time. I put the pendant around my neck and place the lock and key in my pocket. Now that I think about it, Amy also seems to be aware of the fact we're in a time loop. Hey, Yuri? The girls stopped talking and turned to look at me. You said that you and Maya are outliers in this whole curse thing, right? Technically speaking, yes, only due to our interventions. Why do you ask? So, but how is it that Amy's also aware of time looping on itself? Perhaps it's because she's the one who had you perform the ritual in the first place. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a conclusive answer for you right now. Yeah, find out more information later, I guess. That's okay. I was just thinking right now about how she seems to check with me just before the start of each loop and all. That reminds me, Robbie. I think it's best that you keep my involvement a secret from her. I wasn't really planning on telling her, but alright. Any reason why? If Amy really is a descendant of the Dark Interlopers, there's no telling what she would do if she found out about my heritage. I've heard stories of some of those fanatics going around and executing any blood traitors they could find. Yeah, that's not good. Damn! Alright, in that case, I'll make sure I don't say anything to her about you helping me. Thank you, Robbie. Goodness, I'm glad you brought this up to me before the start of the next time loop. Considering how much you're willing to help me, the least I can do is make sure you're safe from that psychotic bitch. I take another look at my watch. School should be over soon. I wonder if Amy is going to be looking for me. Crap, what am I going to say to her if time loops again? Considering what happened, I don't think it's too crazy for her to think that you're trying to lay low and avoid unwanted attention. Maybe. I hope she buys it. As I put my cup of tea back down, the room starts spinning and I feel my strength getting sapped from me. As I slump over on the couch, there's a loud pounding at the door. Oh, fuck! The loop started right on time! Open up! This is the police! Come on with your hands up! As I feel my consciousness fade, the last thing I see are Mayo and Yuri exchanging worried looks as Yuri gets up to look through the peephole in the door. Sadly, I don't have the energy to worry about them right now as I feel myself fade away. Well then, back to the third we go again! For the third time, not the dates line up. Wake up to find myself on the ground. Oh, this seems like a pretty good place to stop then. So this, so damn, this, like, this remaster is pretty good. It's like there's a lot that's changed, and it's like, and it's pretty cool, honestly. Like Yuri and Maya like working as outliers of this curse to try and help MC, and then like this whole, and then like all the loops having more expansion upon this. I mean, hell, this is already like longer than the original mod ever really was. I think I was able to get that done in like a singular stream. I'm pretty excited to see what happens next. It's pretty good. And also I can see why it's like a linear straight shot to the end in terms of like how the story's structured now. So, interesting. So there's a lot of good setup for later. And we'll be here. Yeah, considering I lost the original script. Ah. Huh. Well, I mean, this is kind of how to start from the ground up. Well, that certainly shows, and is definitely like making the mod like better in terms of like this. Yeah, this mod is like. I did find it last week after thinking it was lost forever. But I guess by then the mod was already like pretty much done by that point. Anyways, yeah, this mod is like so far looking to be like better than the original, but then again, there's a whole lot more to this one than there was with the original, and that already had quite a bit to it in terms of like the whole, like all the stuff that happened. But even then, I wanted to ditch the short multiple ending structure. I mean, yeah, because like again, like the whole you gotta do the endings in order thing didn't really leave much room for a proper playthrough or to take place. What if the multiple endings? I wonder if like there being no multiple ending structure is like going to be like a consistent like thing from now on, or if like the Captive Heart remake will have like choices or something. I guess that'd also be another wait and see thing. You'll see. Yep. Alright, I guess I will. Definitely excited. Again, all these mods have been pretty good so far, and just depend on the story. Like, again, it's like seeing all these mods like together, and just it's so fun to like find out more info, find out lore, and theorize. Like, this is definitely a pretty good like anthology, like overarching anthology. So again, definitely can't wait for more of the mods to come out. Anyways, so STR does reference and pay tribute to our other mods, both past and future. I mean, I can see that. I think the whole Dark Interlopers thing with Yuri and Konoha being like descendants or something is like a reference to Wicked Witchcraft and how that was done. At least I think it is. I don't know, it does seem to be like familiar in terms of that. Alright, so this Friday I'm finally gonna finish Triple Trouble, and then yeah, when I was able to finally figure out who Konoha was and expand on Yuri's family. Oh, that's good then. So I guess that's where you like start to like finding your footing. That's good. So yeah, next Tuesday I'm gonna do part 2 of Shattered Time Rewind. Gonna do more of that, find out more lore, see how these loops go, see if I'm like able to like finish it then, or if there'll be like a part 3. And yeah, hopefully, yeah. See you then. Bye bye.